jeden mega dobrý Ornn guide, ve kterém mluvil o Ornnovi cápek, který je Waren1x, taky starý, třeba 11 měsíců, ale vím, že tam rozebírá hrozně zajímavé kombíčka, jakým způsobem nad tím čempem přemýšlí. A myslím si, že by to mohlo být velmi cool se podívat i na to. Už tady máme takový guide day, he. Tak. Pojďme se na to mrknout. Já jenom nevím, jsou tam titulky? Ne, vůbec. Tam ten cápek mluví. OK, dobrý, tak tím pádem to ale budu muset zapnout. A tím pádem... OK, tak já vám to budu překládat, ty důležité věci. Je to v angličtině.
Ornn is one of the most consistently played champions in the game. Since its release, Ornn has been played by pro players in just about every single split of his existence. You win your lane, massive item building that he provides for a strong laner. They get jump looks, not matchup, consistently get solo kills.
My name is Makro, and I'm an Ornn OTP that's gone challenger on US. Most people think of Ornn as a boring tank, but if he's played properly and aggressively,
On maxuje Ečko. Interesting.
Can kill pretty much every laner in top lane, and he has no real counters, which make him like the lane totally unplayable. A tank like Sion would struggle versus Darius, Set, any Juggernaut. Ornn can deal with all of them if he's played aggressively, because he has really high base damage and a lot of survivability. As a tank, I always like doing big things, big damage. He has very little weaknesses and he's probably the strongest.
Kámo, jako vy to možná nevíte, jo, ale ten cápek, který mu teďko hraje, ten Silas, vy možná neznáte toho čempa, ale ten týpek teďko na tomhle klipu je v 1v1 proti, nevím jestli, tyjo, nevím za co teď hraje, ale je to cápek, co hraje LECčko, Nisky. Jo, jakože týpek dal challenger na vestu, no, jako dává smysl, že potkává pro playery, takže tohle je velmi legit guide. Já už jsem ten guide viděl dřív, ale vzhledem k tomu, že jsem nehrál Ornna, tak si z toho skoro nic nepamatuju. Ale zajímá mě se na to podívat teď, když mě Ornn docela zajímá.
In the game, the best possible lane in existence for tanks. Like, I don't remember the first time a jungler has actually played for me when it was actually the right call. Because people underestimate Ornn. I don't know why. He's not really highly picked, even though he's really strong. And he can actually, you know, lane with a jungler. He can actually bully the enemy jungler if, you know, a jungler with strong side, but nobody does.
Today's video is sponsored by Professor. For whatever reason, it can be a big champion. Make sure you summoner try not only
dobrý.
You can do, but no matter how, you can be sure that Professor fill up a potion as his first item.
To nás nezajímá.
And then you wait and buy a Dorn shield. This allows you to get a D shield and a refillable potion at level.
To taky nevyužiješ.
But Macro never does this, and there's a very good reason for abusing his passive to the full amount. But Macro never does this, and there's a very good reason why.
Oh yeah, the refill start, that thing is kind of a low elo bait, because in high elo, most top laners are gonna notice that you don't have a starting item, and they will bully you so much that you won't actually get any XP or the gold, because what they will do is they will literally run at you. Thing is, you can just get refillable on your next back, you know, your first back after the first 3 or 4 waves. It's high risk for very minimal reward. In low elo, sure, they might not punish you, but you will feel less impactful during the first few levels, because you can actually get less impactful during the first few levels, because you can actually get prio.
Maxuje kvéčko do Daria. Jako dá to smysl, to nechceš volkapovat.
Level 1, if you fight with a wave, most top laners will be stronger. You should start Q into most of them. The only times I do W start is probably into Aatrox or Set, because your W is displacement immunity. But most of the time you should be just queuing the first 3 melee minions, let them push into you, slowly just get every minion with your Q while zone.
Ok, měl bys si statovat tak, že si měl začínat Včkem. A jediný moment, kdy on začíná Včkem, je když hraje proti Setovi nebo Aatroxovi, protože může blokovat jejich displacement. U Seta, že jo, Ečko, kterým většinou začínají cápci, a u Aatroxe jeho Včko, že jo, obviously.
them. You can only trade with grasp, and after that the trade ends.
So
basically
měl vždycky tradovat jenom s graspem.
Just getting CS with Q and make them walk into you, so you get a grasp proc. Until you get level 3, then you actually get your whole kit for trading, and then you get really strong. You just need.
A měl bys chillovat do levelu 3 a pak bys měl jít ham. Jakmile máš level 3.
To let them push into you. That's it. Relax, take it slow, and when you get your 3 abilities and the wave starts pushing back, that's when you actually do something with your champion. A fundamental with Ornn is poking the laner as you're farming. You want to use your AoE, so you're farming while hitting.
Měl by si farmit kvéčky a u toho je poukovat
the enemy. You will maximize safety and CSing. I see every Ornn player building Fimbulwinter. They keep thinking of weakening their laning phase and thinking to themselves of, oh, I gotta scale, I gotta scale, I gotta scale, I gotta scale. When in lane, after the few early levels, you can actually
to byl spear shot, že jo? Počkej.
After the few early levels, you can actually contest and get solo kills. And every Ornn plays for tier and doesn't play aggressive enough after a couple of components. I would rather them go for like Wardens or Bammies and just instantly just try and get as many grass procs and try and get as much damage. You'll basically be trading on cooldown every time you get your spells up. Most Ornn players will either play super safe or they will play super stupid. Like there's no in between.
Počkej, on si ho dá W? Teda pasivku?
Every time you get your spells up. Most Ornn players will either play super safe.
Ne, on ji rovnou nabral, yes.
Like there's no in between. I think the biggest mistake Ornn players make just disrespecting your laner a lot, because they think they can actually do something after the trade has ended. They will get a grass proc and they will keep fighting and they'll end up.
Říká, že je mega důležitý, aby si vždycky prostě tradoval jenom s graspem. Prostě jak máš grasp, that's it. Prostě tradej s graspem a čus. Jakmile prokneš grasp, kašleš na to. Kašleš na to. To ty fodu, ne? Na co píšeš z KDA? Čau, pancakeu, čau.
In thing, you want to space really hard, like a champion like Jax, Irelia, they will hard punish you level 1, you have to zone a lot. The thing about Ornn is that most times I need to keep a mental fortitude because I know I will be weak-sided, I know that my jungler won't play for me, so I've sort of gotten used to trying to win lanes 1v2 while the enemy jungler just permacamps topside.
One of the biggest deciding factors in top lane is matchups. Any top laner knows that when you're in a really bad matchup, there's just
jak to udělal? On vykastil to W přímo na něm. Jo, on odvolkoval trošku vodní, aby to dofouknul.
There's just not really much you can do. Even if you played this matchup before, or even if you're a significantly better player, that doesn't really mean you're going to be able to win this lane. Since you're Ornn, you're going to end up playing a lot more unconventional matchups than most other regular top laners.
I have a matchup sheet. It's so different for every matchup. Like you'll have one game I will go Ignite TP with fucking Grasp. One game I will go Spellbook. One game I will go Glacial. It's all over the place because there are so many things that Ornn can do because he's so versatile. It's very in-depth. It shows literally how to play the game as Ornn and what you should do from start to finish. It shows what techs he discover in solo queue, and there are a lot of them. I literally have to keep the matchup sheet just to remember what the fuck have I done.
Essentially, Macro is like Ornn himself.
Týpek má prostě Excel sheet, on to tam myslím bude vidět, ale má vyložený Excel sheet na každý matchup, takže tenhle cápek bere Ornna extrémně seriózně. Ale zároveň zmiňoval, že ten šampion je hrozně flexibilní a můžeš itemizovat do hrozně moc věcí a hrát hrozně různý runy. Což nevím, jestli se vztahuje na Wildrift, tam jako nevím moc, co by se dalo hrát jinýho, kromě Graspu. Jako napadá mě Aftershock, ale jinak moc nevím, co jinýho... Ne, nemůžeš Ečkem odrazit Berana, to můžeš jenom ultimátku. Ale... Kromě Aftershocku moc nevím, co bys mohl využít, jako Conqueror podle nevyužiješ, ty nechceš long fighty. Fakt si nemyslím, že jsi chtěl hrát Conqueror. Jako takhle. V Turbo Lateu by možná Conqueror mohl být zajímavý, jo? Protože by se zhealoval hrozně moc, když jsem velký abilities a myslím si, že je to blbost. Napadá mě jako možná Airy, kdyby si hrál jako do matchupu, který nemůžeš nikdy navolkovat, když jsi prostě hrál Q Airy. Jo? Jakože teoreticky. Ale připravuješ se o ten velký smash s Graspem? Takže si nemyslím, že je to úplně dobrý nápad. Ale důležitý point, je, že maxuje prostě různé věci. Jakože to W maxuje první, většinou, ale kolikrát jste mohli vědět, že maxoval Qčko první, jo? A zároveň v některých hrách maxuje Ečko jako druhý, a ne Qčko jako druhý. Ok. Já si myslím, že on maxuje Qčko jako druhý ve chvíli, kdy, z toho, co mohli vidět, kdy ho nemůže úplně all-inovat, toho cápka, a potřebuje si ho nahitovat. A nebo ví, že prostě může konzistentně hitovat Qčka. Jo, že to je třeba, já nevím, Darius, do něj prostě hitneš Qčko, mega easy. A tam ho dokonce bude maxovat jako první. Ale Ečko jste mohli vidět, že měl třeba do Silese? Myslím, že to byl matchup do Silese? Mě zajímá, jestli to bude někde rozebírat.
Ornn is able to have knowledge and craft any item in the world of League of Legends. Macro himself is able to win and be able to...
Kámo, tak tohle bylo smurf mod. Kámo, sleduj, jo? On získal ten extra dash ultimátkou a tím vyjumpoval z té ultimátky od Joneho. Quick thinking. Smart.
Because he's just as thorough. His matchup sheet includes everything from items to power spikes to exactly what you should be doing to each single champion you'll be facing off against. Ornn knows how to make any single item.
Počkej, mě zajímá něco. Takže Fiora VEQ. OK, protože to nehitneš Qčkem, ona ti prostě z toho vyběhne. Fizz, OK. Co ještě, co můžeme třeba použít? Garen? EQ? OK. Ale taky Ečko. Nemaxuješ Q do Garena? Ale je pravda, že on musí navolkovat, takže jako aplikuješ vždycky V a tím, že budeš maxovat E, tak máš mega dobrý burst damage. A cooldown se ti nesnižuje. A on možná cooldown na Qčku není zas tak velký, aby si nebyl schopný mu neustále ničit pasivku, že jo? Gragas VEQ, OK. Jace, jo, třeba Jace, Qčko. Kassadin of course, Qčko. Kayla Q, jasný, no, tak protože ono je potom ranged. Kennen, 3 body do Qčka, potom Včko, Ečko.
You're gonna be facing off against. Ornn knows how to make any single item in the game. Macro knows how to make any single Ornn lane work for him. Except for Fiora, because she's fucking broken.
The Mage, Death Knight, Paladin, Hunter, Rogue, Warrior, Enchanter, Tank, Bruiser, Wizard, Warlock, Priest, Assassin, Gunslinger, Druid, Shaman, Necromancer, Ninja, Gunslinger, Bard, Monk, Robot, Conjurer, Blacksmith, Mystic, Warden, God, Illusionist, Templar, Wizard was able to take up so much damage and give Dragon X the opening that they needed.
You know, I can absolutely agree with 100% of what you said there. Warren he's multi-talented.
He has a triple brittle combo, which can one-shot pretty much anyone in top lane, but it is a very hard combo to learn, which requires practice. When I first started playing the champ, I didn't even know it existed. It took me about 2 weeks to learn it.
Start with Q to slow the enemy. Immediately after you hit your Q, press R. After just a brief delay, start channeling your E. Because the enemy will have been slowed by Ornn's Q, you are guaranteed to hit the E. Immediately after hitting E, try to auto-attack them for a grass proc. You will still be in range to recast your R for the first brittle knockup, then immediately auto-attack after for a second brittle. Press W, and one last brittle for a triple brittle combo. Ornn's combo, while it's good
Počkej, ale kdy dal to první?
Then proc.
Počkej.
Immediately after hitting E, try to been slow R. After just a brief delay, start channeling your E. Because the enemy will have been slowed by Ornn's Q, you are guaranteed to hit the E. Immediately after...
Jo, jasně. Protože ultimátka to aplikuje jednou, potom ty to basicneš a potom... Jo, chápu.
Try to auto-attack them for a grass proc. You will still be in range to recast...
Ale proč bys neudělal to, že by si vykástil Q, do toho zakástil V, potom vykástil E, čímž se k němu dostaneš a v tu chvíli můžeš ještě kásnout ult, dáš brittle, tím, že ho trefíš a znova ho aplikuješ, ten brittle, a pak dáš basic. Proč jsi to neudělal takhle? Víš, jakože v tom jeho kombu je extra basic, extra jeden basic s graspem. To je jediný důvod, ale jinak to, co jsem teď popsal, je quicker. Ale otevřete si notýsky.
Press W and one last brittle for a triple brittle combo. Ornn's combo, while it's good at one-shotting someone, it still requires a single slow or CC ability to be able to hit. The easiest and safest ability would be Ornn's Q. It's an ability that's rather dodgeable, and it's extremely easy to miss if the enemy champion has a dash. Macro's philosophy with Ornn's one-shot combo is very simple. If they have a dash, he just waits for them to use it. If they don't use it, then he will just sit there and do nothing.
Oh my god. But she's range top. Range top is so broken. How could you possibly just... Look, if she uses Q, she dies. If she uses Q once, she's dead. She literally just dies.
Je to muž svého slova.
Ornn is one of the best scaling tanks in the game, so
Říkám,
even if you're playing...
proč by si bral Warden s maildokami? Ale zase jako dává to smysl, protože ona si prokne Ečkem a tak speed a nemůže tě olinovat. OK, píšu si.
Ornn's still going to eventually generate a lot of value for his team so long as he's able to get experience. If neither player is being aggressive, then Ornn is still gonna get what he wants.
The trick for me is that I just don't use my spells at all and just wait until they use all their dashes, because there's no point in hitting somebody with so many dashes. I'll just wait until they use everything, and then I can do my combos, my trades. Well, I am proactively looking for all-ins, but I can't all-in if they have a dash or an escape. So I will try to keep the wave in a state where I can punish, and also they are forced to do something, so I will freeze and wait for them to try and break the freeze, and then I'll punish. They'll walk away, I'll keep the freeze, I'll punish again. It's just a matter of just keeping your laner in a tiny little spot, to whereas they can't do anything. Well, nice. If you like doing damage, and if you like building items and not learning recall timings, Ornn has the best skill expression out of any tank, and I think he's a tank done right. Other tanks just don't match him. Like, you don't see Sion having any crazy combos other than like E ult Q, but like that's about it. They don't get a lot of finesse. Can Sion craft items in lane? He cannot.
Okay. To se ti Ornnovi